There we go. There we go. All right, guys, welcome to the weekly power up and market update. Very, very excited that you guys are all here, tuning in, excited to deliver the message today, give you guys some exciting updates of events and things that we're doing. So I just want to get started up here with our first slide and showing you guys a little bit of how our movement started. Been here at EXP for the last 4 years, and it started off with these three amazing gals, Lee Mighty, Thanati, and Brianna. So I always like to give you guys some perspective of how we started and give them a shout out, because without these three gals being a yes, to coming over to this company, I wouldn't be here, and many of you wouldn't be here either. We're now over 2,000 strong in 27 states and 7 countries. So, huge shout out. And the vision is to become a global leader in the real estate industry by partnering with the most productive, innovative, and purpose-driven leaders. Keyword is purpose-driven. We are dedicated to driving growth and success for our agents and teams and providing exceptional service to our clients. Goals. We share the goals here weekly. You should be reading your goals daily for sure. So our goal this year is to serve over 21,000 families, 10 billion in volume, and grow an organization of 10,000 plus. So thank you for all the leaders that contribute to this vision and this mission. And I say this every single week. You got to repeat the things that are very important. Do not just read your goals once a year. You got to read your goals daily. I read my goals in the morning, and I also read them before I go to bed. So I like to share this as well with all of you because it keeps me accountable, it keeps me focused, and that also anchors in the goal. So this is the training that we have coming up this week. We have 8 powerful trainings lined up for you guys. The intention is productivity, skill building, lead generation, content creation. So this is the lineup right here. Let me go ahead and show you guys the lineup of the calls so you guys can see what we got lined up. If you guys are also part of our newsletter and emails, you guys should have already received this over the weekend. If you guys already, obviously went to this class, I just taught this class. It was recorded. So just in case you missed this class that I just taught literally before this, if you want the recording, make sure that you guys just check your emails because we send it out to everybody. We also have weekly script Zoom calls with Mr. JJ from 9 to 10 a.m. He does them every Monday as well. So that's a great class to do if you want to refine your scripts. This is the Power Up and Market Update. You guys are already here. Also, Mo and Maria out in Bakersfield, they do an amazing skill mastery class Monday through Thursday. So if you want to brush up on your skills, and that's something that you really want to develop, these guys are great. They do about 150 transactions a year, and they do a lot of listings. So if you want to learn your listing process and refine your listing process, that'll be definitely, the way to go. And Bernadette, you got 2 Frenchies. Yeah, my Frenchie's over here snoring. I don't know. So totally. So contracts, disclosures, and all things training with Mr. Richard Dascom as well. They're also doing Tech Tuesdays, KV Core, which, many of you, if you guys were obviously EXP, you guys have KV Core. Make sure you guys take some time and really master and develop that system because it's such a powerful platform, guys. Before I got to EXP, I used to pay close to $2,000 for a platform that did only about 50% of what KV Core does. So make sure that you guys commit to this platform and really master it. That is also a class being done by Richard Dascom. So plug into that. We'll drop in into the chat. And no worries. I'm so sorry to hear, Bernadette. We'll see you soon. I'm going to go ahead and drop the powerful call lineup here for you guys. So just in case you guys did not receive the email, I'm going to drop it in here for you guys so you guys can have it. Save this. This has all of the links. Actually, Miss Terry, if you can drop it in there. I just tried to copy and paste it and it didn't do it for me. Oh, that's because I tried to do it for the waiting room guest. Yes. So we also have a weekly script Zoom call, with Liliana Matos as well from 10 to 11 every Wednesday. So if you guys want to crush it with Lily, she's an amazing superstar in our organization. She's started as a new agent, developed a team, now opened up her own office, now has a team, all over internationally. So if you guys want to learn from her, make sure you tune into that. The Content Creator Mastermind with Maria and Mo this Wednesday. This is going to be really powerful as well, guys. They do a lot of content creation for their business. So they're going to be diving in, sharing their playbooks, strategies, and everything else Wednesday at 2:00. Make sure you guys tune into that. And if you want to develop your listing presentation, and that's something you want to commit to, tune into Marilu's listing presentation. It's Fridays at 7:30 in the morning. It's early in the morning, but a great way to start your day. And they're literally role-playing the entire listing presentation. So if you want to brush up your skills and see how other people are crushing it in their listings, they have different guest speakers. That's going to be a great class. So that's the call lineup, right? Just want to give you guys some perspective on what's going on with classes. Now, next thing I'm going to cover is actually already talked about that. So no more ChatGPT, did that already. Also talked about the Content Creator Mastermind. Make sure you guys tune into that, guys, because we're really passionate about you guys growing your personal brand. It's extremely important that you guys are building your personal brand. So that's why I'm doing these content creation masterminds weekly. I'm bringing the best of the best weekly. So that way you guys can plug in and understand how other people are doing it all around the country. So these are the stats for the last 7 days. So again, right, we want to be familiar with our goals, and we also want to know the numbers, because this is going to be the language and the communication that we're going to have with the clients. So in LA, we had 1,034 homes that went active in the last 7 days, right? So all of these stats, just note, last 7 days stats. Pending, we had 1,034. Closed, we had 810 closed in the last 7 days. Average price is $1,064,000. And the volume was $862 million just in LA, right? Almost $1 billion in sales in 7 days. Orange County, we had 318 actives. The pendings, and Anita, yes, these times are all Pacific time, correct. So Orange County, we had 453 homes pending. By the way, because I know that there's people, there's people you hear from all over the nation. How I got these stats are using the MLS, right? So all of us have MLS. So that's what I did. I just said, give me the last 7 days of actives, give me the last 7 days of pendings, give me the last 7 days of closings, give me the stats on the average days on the market, because you guys need to know these numbers. You guys are out there, sales professionals. When you guys are having conversations, people want to know that you know the numbers in the marketplace. They want to know that you know the activity, right? The other reason why I like to showcase this stuff is because I want to showcase what is possible, right? There, the media and the narrative have quieted down about, this doom and gloom in the real estate market. Now we're starting to, I'm seeing multiple offers. I'm seeing multiple, I'm seeing open houses that are packed with people again. So there's a lot of really good stuff happening. So that's why it's very important that you guys stay connected to the numbers. So the, Orange County, we had 357 that closed and 419 million in volume. San Bernardino, we had 373 active, 449 homes in escrow, and 354 closed. Riverside, 560 active, 630 pending, 527 closed. Average, and the volume is 332 million. And I think we added a number there, Ms. Terry. I think it was supposed to be like 600 million or something like that. I don't know if that was an incorrect stat, but there was 425 actives, 576 pendings, and 458 closed. So something that's interesting in San Diego a lot of the times is that they're at a 0 to their closing, so that might have amplified. So it should be like closer to 600 million. So the numbers are a little bit off right there. So just note of that. But again, guys, knowing these numbers for your marketplace is absolutely imperative for you to crush it. And also, the question that I ask myself, that I ask you guys weekly, is how much market share do you want, right? How much of this market share do you want? Because that's what I see. When I see all these numbers, I'm like, and this is happening in 1 week, I'm like, wow, how can I capture more market share? And this market, by the way, is when you can become number one and when you can take on more market share. Why? Because there's less people that are thinking that the market is, hot, or they're skeptical about the market and they're kind of sitting on the sidelines. I know that you guys are not sitting on the sidelines because you guys are here. Obviously, you guys are the action takers. So I really want to acknowledge you guys for being the action takers. And again, just take as much market share as you guys possibly can. This is the time to do it. So expired. This is again for our MLS here. We had 418 homes expire off the market. For some of you that focus on that strategy or that want to learn that strategy, we have classes that are designed for that. If you guys want to get the stats and the numbers and the emails and all that stuff for your local market, you can use a platform called Vulcan 7. That's one of the platforms that I recommend. I don't endorse, I mean, I'm not part of their company or not, so use whichever one you want. I don't care. But this is a really good strategy for you to develop your listing business, right? 418 homes expired. So let's talk about our EXP stock, right? Obviously, we're all owners of this amazing company, which is something that I, doing this for 17 years, I was never able to really think about or say, but it's so exciting. The fact that our company, is something that we all have ownership in, right? So it's almost $15 a share. 2.2 billion in market cap. We are the most valuable real estate stock in Wall Street. So if you guys want to kind of keep up to date on what's happening there, which like I like to do, you guys should just Google the ticker EXPI and you guys can get all of that information at your fingertips. So let's go ahead and go to our next topic. We're going to go ahead and have Mr. Neil Anders share a mortgage update, share with us some exciting stuff that's happening in the mortgage space. Mr. Neil, what's going on, brother? Welcome to the call.
Thank you, Leo. I appreciate you having me on. Happy President's Day, everybody. And up here taking the day off in the snow, but I'm bringing the heat today. So take out your pens and write down some notes. I have an amazing strategy that should help all you guys increase your units and move the needle for you and your upcoming deals. Quick mortgage update. Rates are up right now. They went up a little bit last year with the feds determining a higher, stronger jobs report than a lot of people predicted, which some people feel means that the recovery from the inflation is slower than anticipated. There's a little debate going on right now when the feds meet in March. Should that next rate hike be 25 basis points or 50 basis points? The ones that are putting pressure on the 50 basis points, that question is what's putting pressure on the yield and on that floor, which is why you see rates driving up a little bit. What we want to see happen is that the feds keep on schedule, which what they said last year, and keep the 25 basis points hike in March. If they stay on schedule, you will see rates actually get better and improve. Versus, continuing to slide like they have. That having been said, even though the fact that rates have ticked up a little bit, we're still lower than we were in December, November, October. Right now, Q1 is better than where we were Q4 last year. So continue to remind your clients that. Last thing I want to share is a bit of a strategy we're having amazing success with, and I'm going to drop my email and my phone number in the chat. But we have a program, guys. We partnered up with the state where we allow clients to go up to 125% of the purchase price. Now, I'm going to explain to you very briefly how the program works and then how I advise you use the strategy. 125% means even if the client's putting down 3%, 5%, a low percent, even down payment assistance, typically there'd be no equity left in the property. To have the ability to go up to 125% means that the client actually can tap into cash or equity that the property technically doesn't even have yet, and use that money for upgrades and repairs to renovate the property. So here's the strategy that some of our team members are using, and I advise you to use. If you have a client that wants to do low money down, no money down, but they feel like they can't afford the house they really want because all the turnkey homes are too high in price and create too high of a payment. So they want to find a home that maybe needs some work, it needs some TLC, right? But that's all they can afford. So they think, well, gosh, what's the point of buying a property? I only have 3% to put down. I don't have money for closing costs. The seller's covering that. I definitely don't have money for renovations. And I can't live with these old appliances and this terrible carpet. What do I do? Use this program. Sell your client the property with little or no money down. Technically have the seller cover the closing costs. That's fine. And use this program through Trusted Rate to go up to 125%. Get cash out and renovate the property. So last recap, give you a perfect example. Literally, it's possible to have someone do down payment assistance, no money down, have the seller cover all closing costs, no money down, and then post-closing, get a check through the state from Trusted Rate, 50, 75, maybe $100,000 or more, depending on that purchase price, to go and immediately change the, flooring, the carpeting, the appliances. They get the money. They can do the work themselves. They can hire their own contractors. They're not forced to use anybody. It's an incredible program. I'd love to get into more detail, so I'll drop my information in the chat. Anyone that has questions, please reach out to me.
That's awesome, Neil. Thank you so much, man. It sounds like a product that is it like a FHA 203K kind of deal? Is it kind of like that, or what's give us some logistics. Is this apply for anybody? Is it an FHA government program? Like a little bit more information about that.
Love that you asked that, Leo, and that 203K program is a great program, but it's very labor intensive. You have to get contractor bids. You have to get HUD out to the property. It's kind of a nightmare. This is 1,000 times better, because literally all you need to qualify, whether you already have an existing property. So anyone that's on this call, I've even had realtors come to me and apply for this program, whether you already own the home or you're just closing. It's literally kind of like a second mortgage. But here's the notes, write this down. There's no appraisal required. There's no income documents required. You only need a 650 credit score, and they don't even put a lien on your property. Up to $150,000, 30-year term, you get the cash. The only thing they require is they want to see a bid from a contractor to know, what do you plan on doing with the money? What's your expectation of where you think the money's going to go? Go get a quote, go get a bid from a company, a few companies, pick the one you like, send it to them. Once they wire the money directly into your account, you use the funds as you see fit with the contractor, or do the work yourself. But it's really the best of both worlds. And it's just a really great program. The motivation behind it, why the state is offering it, the state's making a huge push towards energy efficiency. They know the power grid in California is going to literally crash inside of a decade. That's why every new build requires solar. That's why every commercial in the Super Bowl advertised electric cars. There's a big push, and the state's hoping with these funds, people are making all these older homes more energy efficient, because any upgrade or update you do will make the property more energy efficient, from double pane windows to appliances that have better power operations, et cetera, et cetera.
Perfect, brother. And I'm sure, because we have people here that are, in other states. So I'm sure that they could text, if you guys can text Neil for more information. His company is, all over the US. So I'm pretty sure that there is something that's state specific, but I just dropped in Neil's phone number into the chat. But thank you so much for sharing, brother. I really appreciate it. That's super, super powerful. Who agrees that we need to bring back Neil for a entire presentation? Because I want to get you to really dive deep into it and get granular with this program. So we'll do another presentation here next week for you guys, because I know that there's a couple of people that are interested in this program. But thank you, man. I appreciate you tuning in, man, and sharing. Always bringing that energy, brother. Appreciate you. All right, cool. So now we're going to go into the next part of our power up, which is the power of language, guys. So this is something that I was thinking about as something that was going to be extremely valuable to share with you guys. And I've learned that obviously we all have a past. Every single one of us has a past, because we're here, right? So we just didn't magically appear all of a sudden. So because we have a past, right? Because we also, grew up and went through, whatever we went through, right? I mean, we learned language from our family. We learned language from our friends. We learned language from our environment. We learned language in our school. We learned language by the books that we chose to read. We learned language by watching certain shows on television or novelas, right? Like a lot of people love to do, right? So we learned language, right, from all of these different mediums. So I just want to really, really get you guys to think about the language that you're using every single day, and the language that you're learning by consuming certain type of content, right? So my whole thing is that I really think that our inner hustle right now, our inner hustle has to be as intentional as our outer hustle, right? We're going to get out there and regenerate. We're going to go out there and prospect. We're going to go and give great service. Yes, we're going to do all those things. And your inner hustle, right? I'm talking about you learning has to be at the forefront of everything, because your results that you are achieving right now is all directly correlated to the type of language that you use, the type of language that you know, and also the type of language and how you communicate with yourself. Because even though you may be aware of it or not, you are communicating with yourself every single day, right? And if you doubt it, it's that little inner dialogue that's going on right now as I'm talking, and it's assessing everything that I'm saying. Maybe you're saying like, maybe I agree with Leo and maybe I don't agree with Leo. You know, I'm wondering what's, you know, what kind of image he has in the back. Is it a lion? What does that create? Right. So there's an inner dialogue. There's an inner dialogue about what you're going to do next. Right. So that little inner language that you're using on a daily, in a moment to moment basis, is creating your world. And I didn't know that my inner dialogue, the language that I had in the past, was very limiting. And a lot of the things of how I used to describe myself, when I would make mistakes, especially, I would, you know, be very judgmental of me, like pendejo, like, you know, saying like really bad things about myself. So your inner dialogue and your language is a really important part of your success. And I've learned about this through doing different courses and developing myself. But I also have found that by me learning more about, you know, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of ChatGPT and AI right now. It's a very popular topic. But what is AI? AI is a language model. Basically, it has all of the language that is in existence integrated into this platform. So therefore, it's going to be hyper intelligent because of the language that it has. It has all of the language accessible to it. So I started to think about like, wow, if our language is limited, we only could do so much. But if we amplify our language, then we have greater results, greater possibilities. So I want to encourage you guys to really read more, read books that you typically don't read, right? Read things that are going to amplify your language, and actually take a book and actually read it, right? Because yes, I'm a huge fan of Audible. I'm a huge fan of listening to books, but I also found that it's extremely powerful, and how I've been able to amplify my language is by literally reading a book. And I learned this from Les Brown from one of his trainings years ago. I read, he told me that if I wanted to improve my speaking skills, that I should read out loud for at least 10 minutes. So if you want to amplify your language and develop your speaking skills, take 10 minutes and read out loud, right? And project your energy, project your voice. The voice that I'm using, the voice that I have right now, it's been refined over the years by me reading, by me practicing this one exact thing, which is to read out loud. So do those kind of things, and you'll start to see that your world will start to expand, right? And the type of language that you're using, right? Like, I would encourage you guys to eliminate the word try out of your language as quickly as possible. I would really encourage you guys, right? Because I hear that very often. I'm going to try. But try is not an empowering word, right? You don't want to use those kind of words. You want to make sure that you eliminate those kind of words from your language, because trying is going to create more trying. It's not going to create results. So you have to be intentional with the words that you use. And depending on the words that you're using are going to be connected directly to the type of, you know, conversations you're going to have. Again, right? The inner dialogue that you're having, your conversation with you're having yourself. And this is one of the things I'll challenge you guys to think about. Think about what you think about. And if your language that you're using with yourself, if somebody would hear that conversation out loud and this person was your friend, would that person still be your friend? For me, when I really got clear, I wouldn't. The way I would talk to myself, it was not nice. I would not talk to myself very empowering. And I started to think about like, man, if I talk to people the way I talk to myself, man, those people wouldn't be my friends. They would run away. So I got really present to the fact that I was using language that was keeping me in patterns and in loops. And that's what language is doing. Language is keeping you in in a pattern, right? So again, if you want to change your life, change the language that you're using. Change the language by reading, by doing seminars. A seminar that I've done that has also made a massive difference in my language is called Landmark. Landmark Education, which is a worldwide company, right? You could do their training anywhere in the world. I would highly recommend that training, by the way. That helped me to understand the language that I was using and amplify the language that I was using, right? So it's extremely important when you communicate the type of business that you attract, the conversations that you're able to have with your customer, that's going to make all the difference in the world, right? If you're talking to your clients and you're like, you know what, I'm thinking about doing this and that, and it's not empowering language, right? Your clients are going to hire you based on your confidence. And that's why you also have to be a contract, like you have to be a contract specialist in your real estate business. You guys got to make sure that you guys are committed to mastery, understanding the contracts forwards and backwards, understanding the language of real estate. Everybody loves the language of real estate, but understanding the language. And that's going to come from you committing yourself to mastery. So I just want you guys to ask yourself that question ask yourself and be honest with yourself. Is the language you use, is it getting you closer to your goals, or is it moving you away from your goals? What kind of language are you using? And again, you guys just, do a self-inquiry and think about that. But I just thought that was like, wow, it's all language. Everything is language. When I learned and I heard a quote, it was language. My past is language, right? Everything is language. So that's the message I got for you guys today. I really appreciate it. And moving on to the ideas of what I want you guys to really focus on, because our focus, unfortunately and fortunately, success is very repetitive. Success leaves clues, and success is doing the same things over and over and committing to mastery, right? So I'm going to repeat these same things because these are the most important things you got to do. You guys got to have a powerful morning routine, because when you guys are in dialogue with buyers and sellers, guess what? Your energy is speaking way louder than your words. It's speaking way louder, right? And it's only a certain part of your language. Like your language and your communication, it's not just what you say, it's your body language. It's how you say it. So you want to make sure that you're feeding your mind by reading books, taking the time. I'm not even telling you guys, like I do wake up early. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not saying that you should do it. You wake up at whatever time you got to wake up in, but make sure you wake up a little bit earlier so you could take some time and invest in yourself and do some movement. Also, I'm not telling you how to work out, but do some movement. Go for a walk, right? I walk my dog every morning. That's one of the things that I start off my day. I get connected to nature, get connected to the outside, and spend some time to visualize the results that you're going to create for the day, right? How are my conversations going to happen? What kind of language am I using? Like literally visualize yourself doing that, because you're practicing reality by visualizing. That's what you're doing when you're visualizing. And my intention and my commitment is that you guys should have 2 new appointments every single day. That has been one of the things that I've had for 17 years. I've always had it as a commitment to do a minimum of 2 appointments a day, a minimum, right? And that means that you need to be in conversation with people that don't know you just yet. So you are going to have to be outside of your comfort zone for this. Continue to invest in your brand, invest in your social media, right? Get yourself out there, plug into trainings, and also, go 100x on your skills and your talents. What are you already good at? What are you already great and like that you feel passionate about? And go ahead and refine that skill and invest in that skill more and more. And the moral of the story, everything you do in this business, guys, it's about building relationships and bringing value. Those are the 2 things that you're doing. You bring value and you build relationships, and you build relationships by bringing value. It's a loop. It's a very powerful loop. And I'm going to talk about this book that I've been reading, which I'm really enjoying. Again, I'm amplifying my language every week. I'm reading this book called The Creative Act, A Way of Being. And I took the top 6 points of the book, right? So the definition of creativity, right? The creative process, benefits of being creative, overcoming creative blocks, the connection between creative and mindfulness, the role of play in creativity, right? Because again, if you guys you guys gotta, and I get people that send me books all the time, right? So I recommend you guys read this book. Read whatever book you got, but just read something, right? This is a book that I'm reading right now that I'm really enjoying, because I really believe that in this new economy, guys, the superpower that you're going to have is your creativity. It really is. It's how creative can you be and your intentionality behind everything you do. Because those two things, you can use all the tools that we have available, right? A lot of the world is going to change right now, but you being creative and you having a clear intention, it's going to really get you ahead of the game, right? So if your intention is to be the top realtor in your marketplace, then you need to think of creative ways, irresistible offers that you can magnetize people to come to you, right? What are things that are going to get people to call you and say, you know what? You're the person I want to connect with. You're the person I want to do business with. So this is the next question I'm going to ask you guys. What will you create this week? How many listings are you going to sign? How many open escrows? How many closings, right? How many agents are you going to attract? If agent attraction is part of your business, right? Make sure you write it down, and also understand that your goals, you need to make them from the now. Whatever you did last week is already gone. The past is the past and it's gone. So what are you going to do this week? And don't compare it for last week, right? If you had 0 listings, 0 escrows, 0 closings last week, you're gonna be like, how am I going to get one? Well, if you don't even intend on having at least 1 listing and 1 escrow, then you're not going to get it done, right? You have to be laser beam with your focus. And who I am is the possibility of being creative and intentional. Those are going to be the 2 words that I'm using for the week. Pick some empowering words for yourself, right? I'm using creative and intentional. So in every conversation that I'm having, I'm going to be creative and intentional. In every dialogue, in every place where I am, I'm going to be creative and intentional. That's going to be my guiding force of my outcome everywhere that I go. And that's it for you guys. This has been I was going to say the content creator, that's Wednesday, but this has been the power up and the market update for you guys. It is 10:38. I usually like to make these about 30 minutes or so, but that has been the formal part of the presentation. I'm going to stick around for a minute or two. If you guys have any questions for me, I will stick around for another minute. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for bringing your attention. I really, really am grateful to have your presence in my life. So get out there and make it happen, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for the feedback. Appreciate you guys. Peace, peace, peace. Let's go.